Good morning, everybody. It's Kika, your lifestyle blogger, and let's do something fun. I want to show you how the RV cameras work for your RV. So if you're thinking about getting this handy dandy tool, I recommend it for you. It is absolutely wonderful. I absolutely love it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into each area of the RV where I have a camera going, and I'm going to push record. So that way you can see the activity that is going on in the RV. Now remember, these cameras you can actually hook up to your cell phone and actually watch your RV. So if you are in another state or a location that you're not too familiar with and you want to go out and about and explore the city or the town, you can do that and also keep an eye out on your RV. So I want to show you that handy dandy tool. I also want to let you know in my last video I talked a little bit about the mobile Wi-Fi, and you can purchase those devices. I actually purchased mine on eBay, but you can purchase them from any carrier like T-Mobile, Walmart. All of those places have those mobile Wi-Fi systems. And what you'll want to do is you'll want to hook up your cameras to your mobile Wi-Fi system, because the good thing about using the mobile Wi-Fi system is that no matter where you park, you will still be able to get full view of your RV using your smartphone. So I am going to turn on the cameras now and then kind of show you guys the different things that the cameras do and kind of what they pick up and what they see. You can actually talk through a couple of the cameras, the camera in the living room and the camera in my back bedroom. You can talk through. The one that's outside, unfortunately, I don't know why, but you can't talk through that one. But you can still record, and I'll show you the images of myself on that camera. So keep watching. Did you see it? So that was the first full view of the camera, and I was just simply making my coffee, adding sugar to it, and so you can see the full view of the living room. And that camera, unfortunately, the ones that I have do not pan the room, so you can turn it in the angle that you want to see. Preferably what I had got the cameras for in the first place was because when I start traveling, I'm going to bring my two little tiny dogs. And sometimes, excuse me, I may want them to run around in the RV, and I do want to keep an eye on what they're doing. And so that was the biggest reason for getting the camera. So I didn't care if it didn't pan the room or not. Just the fact that I would be able to talk through the camera at them would be wonderful. So that is the biggest reason why I got it. But now that I do have it, I found that it is coming in very handy, and it's actually a really wonderful tool. So I may upgrade the cameras later, not too sure. I am very happy with what I have right now, so I'm just going to go with it. So anyway, now for the second camera. I'm going to do a camera in the back room and do a little bit of video back there so you can see. So keep watching. All right, everybody, did you see the second camera? So that camera was of my room, and I apologize for leaving that camera on a little longer. I had to notice that I haven't made my bed, so I wanted to make sure that I did that. So anyway, that's the second camera of the bedroom. And then the last camera is the camera outside the RV. So if someone is knocking at your door middle of the night, you had to pull over at a Walmart you're not familiar with, or on a side of the street of a town that you're not familiar with, and all of a sudden you hear noise outside, but you really don't want to open up your windows or shades. I'm just painting a scenario for you. And you hear knocking on your door. You kind of want to peek outside and see what's happening right outside your RV door. This camera comes in handy dandy. Now, keep in mind, I do have the backup camera in the very back of the RV. So you can always turn that on, and that camera helps guide when I'm pulling the towed car, or if I just want to see the people behind me when I'm out on the road. And that camera and screen is actually right here in my front cab area. So when I'm driving, I have that. That mirror right there is totally redundant. No need to have that because all you're looking at is the house back here. You don't see the back of you at all when you're driving on the road. So I had to get one of these cameras because it's absolutely wonderful. My side mirrors are something that I always rely on, but because they stick out so far and the RV is so big, a lot of times you get a lot of wind and it turns those mirrors, so they're not always as efficient as I would like them. So I had to actually do some taping to keep them in place. So I'm gonna have to have someone look at that for me. But this camera, I absolutely rely on a whole lot. And that camera right there, it will be your best friend. So if you don't have one, no matter what size your RV is, I recommend please, please, please get one because it's absolutely wonderful. So now back to what I was talking about before. I usually get a little bit of a sidetrack, but we're talking about cameras. So I'm going to show you the outside camera so you can get a view of what the outside camera looks like. Now, if someone is outside your door and they're knocking and you can't get a good view of the camera because your camera does not pan around, ask them to step back. You can talk to them, so have them step back and let them know that you do want to see who they are before you open your RV door. And you have the right to do that. So keep watching. All right, everybody, did you see it? So that is actually this camera right above the door. And I think I'm going to turn it a little bit because it's kind of facing out. So it'd be better to kind of face the doorway. But just wanted to show you that piece. And then the backup camera, let me show you something with that, because I was giving you a little view of it inside the RV. But the backup camera outside my RV is actually right here. And that's good because sometimes people like to climb up your ladder. And if you have solar panels, those are very valuable, and sometimes they'll grab those. Now, I don't have solar panels. That is something I'm planning on getting in the future. But instead, I do have this deterrent from the steps. And when you have something like this on there, it is easy for people to take it off. But with that caution sign, they don't know what's up there. So sometimes they may not even attempt. Plus, I like the way it looks, too. I think it adds another look to the RV. So I think it's pretty cool. So anyway, back in my house. I think I talked about on a previous video, and I'm not sure if I'm going to post that, so I'm going to talk about it here. Since we've talked about the cameras and all the things that I want to do, let's talk a little bit about RV renovations, because when you have an RV, your renovations are absolutely never done. When I first got this, I was in a rush to finish all the renovations. And the very last big project that I had to do was these ceilings, which I absolutely botched. I messed those up. I hate it. As you can see, I used wallpaper the second time around. First I used that stick tile, and then I decided to use wallpaper. It's okay. I like the dark ceiling. That's what I was going for. I like the color, but I don't like the way I did it. The technique is absolutely awful. So eventually I'm going to get to it and redo this entire ceiling, but I got to wait until I have the energy and the patience. That's one thing about me. I don't have a lot of time, and I'm absolutely not a patient person at all. And so that's the reason why my ceiling turned out the way it is. So I might have to hire somebody to do it for me. I don't know yet, but I am considering doing a few more things to the RV. I absolutely love the colors and the tones in here. It fits me perfectly. So I don't want to change anything that I've done to it so far except for the ceilings. But I do want to upgrade a couple things. My son still has to get the shower together for me. So that's just minor. But I do want to change out my kitchen area. Now I have a 2000 RV. And this is an actual Shasta brand. They don't make those anymore. I love it. I got a great deal on it. And so I paid cash for it and then renovated the whole thing. But one thing that I did leave was the microwave that was already in here, because it was a good running, useful microwave. It's a full-size microwave. I like it. And then I left the hood and the stove. And the stove is good. It works for the most part. So I really like that. And then I left the fridge. And what I did is the old paneling that was on here, just like what was on the cabinets, I just painted that black. And it works out well. It's a nice size refrigerator. And actually today I'm going to go grocery shopping because we need some more groceries in here. We're going to be doing camping. So I'm trying to make it a practice of keeping this fridge full as well as the fridge in my house. So doing grocery shopping for both today. But I do want to change all of this out. I want to upgrade it to a little bit more modern style. And so I am looking at some stainless steel options, of course, for the microwave, the stove hood, and actually the stove. I might get this taken out and do a stainless steel option. Thinking of convection, people love that and it works very well. So that might be a way that I might go. I'm just not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I'm definitely considering that. And when I get to the stove part and the fridge and all of this, I can have that redone at like an RV place. They can put it in for me. But the fridge, I've always wanted all my life. A stainless steel glass fridge where it's glass in the front where you can actually, instead of opening the fridge and trying to look and see what you have, you can actually see it from the outside. And I'm going to show you some pictures at the end of this video of what I'm thinking of, but I absolutely love that. And so I've been kind of doing a little research online and I found a couple of options that I could go for. So I might do that. So I'm really excited about that opportunity. Might not do it just yet. That might be something that I'm doing in the coming year. Not sure if you guys know, but I am working on getting a food truck. Actually, I will be picking that up in a couple of weeks and it is going to be absolutely wonderful. I'm going to do a potato bar food truck. I always thought to myself, after I retire, I'm the type of person that likes to be busy all the time. And so I work in sales and marketing and I'm very creative, as you can see from the RV. And so I said to myself, if I don't have a regular job anymore, because, you know, we age, I have 4 grandkids, actually 5. So I have 3 on the way and 2 already. But anyway, as we age, you know, we want to stay busy. We want to stay active. We want to retire, but we want to still have a nice income flow. So I was thinking about my future. And one of the things that I wanted to do was a bed and breakfast. So I did purchase some land, but what I decided is not to do the bed and breakfast, actually keep that land and probably put a cabin on it or a house that will eventually double back as my retirement home because it'll be paid for. The land is actually paid for in cash. So I'm excited about that. I could drive up there, put the RV on there and camp out as long as I want. It's in a wonderful gated community. So I'm excited about that. But I don't have, you know, the septic, the water, the hookups, none of that on there yet. So it's just straight 1 acre of land and that's it. But I do have plans for that in the near future. So I'm just kind of thinking about how I want to do that. But I changed my mind about the bed and breakfast idea, but I still liked something related to food and creativity. So what I decided to do is get a food cart. And so it's actually a trailer that I can pull behind the RV or my SUV. And I can get involved in some of the cute carnivals and the fairs and just all kind of things. It's the opportunities that is actually endless with the food cart and food trucks business. It's a wonderful business actually, and people are doing it all the time. And as I'm looking deeper and deeper into this, I'm realizing I made a wonderful decision. So I found this delightful lady who actually sold me a food cart and I gave her my deposit and I'm going to pick it up in 2 weeks. And I am excited because it's going to be mine and I get to renovate it and fix it up. So it'll be a year of doing that project before I actually get that up and running and going. But that is something I'm actually going to include in my YouTube channel. So like I said, I'll have more wonderful and exciting videos coming up. So I hope you guys stay tuned. Tell all of your friends, subscribe to my channel because there'll be some wonderful videos in the near future. And so with the food cart, I will show you a video in a couple weeks of it, but it's plain right now and I just need to upgrade and renovate that. So in the midst of fixing up the RV and kind of doing a little renovation in the kitchen here, I will be upgrading and renovating the food cart, which would be naturally appropriate. And then finishing up the boat. You know, I took the boat out. You guys seen that video. And there's still a few things that I got to do to fix that boat up. But taking it out on the water was absolutely delightful because I wanted to get a feel for what the boat is like actually being out on the water. So now that I got a feel for what the boat is like, now I can understand what the boat actually needs. And there's some fun things that I want to do with that. And so that is coming up as well. One of the things that I enjoy doing when I'm thinking and contemplating about all the projects and things that I want to do is I sit down at the beginning of every year and I put together a vision board. And you can probably see it behind me. I hung it up here. And I'll move to the side so you can see it. This is my vision board that I did back in January before I even moved to this property here. And this property is actually wonderful. It's out in rural Minnesota. It's on 5 acres of land. And I lived in the suburbs of the city, but it was an area that I really didn't care for, a townhome association. If you guys look back at a few of my videos, you'll see my dilemma with that. And so being out here is absolutely wonderful. I'm renting right now. I'm not buying this place. 5 acres of land, I just can't do that. It's too much. It's wonderful, but it's too much. But I absolutely love living here, and I can stay here as long as I want. My landlord and everybody absolutely loves me, so I can stay here as long as I want. But the fact that I have the land up north that I'm putting my house on that I own is absolutely wonderful, so I'm excited about that. So I have options, and it's nice to have options. And plus, if you have an RV, it's nice to have a home base that you can rest and then continue to travel. So that's one of the reasons why also I bought the land. But anyway, back to the vision board. So as you can see on my vision board, I had these visions that I'm talking to you guys about. It's not something that I just randomly come up with, but I've had these visions for a very long time. So I got the pontooning information here. I got love, of course. And if you guys have seen some of my videos, you probably know that I do have a love interest and I have a boyfriend now. That did not come as something I was really anticipating or working on. It just happened to happen. And maybe it happened because I put this vision board together. I don't know. But anyway, either way, it's all good and it's wonderful. And then I have a cabin home here because I love the rustic view of a cabin, and your cabin can also double back as your home. So I have the land, so I will be working on putting that cabin on there and just have to decide exactly how I want to do it. And then I talked about glamping, and to me, being in this RV, this is glamping. It's not roughing it. It's not a tent outside, none of that. It's actually camping, but in a glamorous sort of way. And I like that. I like being able to bring my home with me, or an extension of my home with me, and still be comfortable. So when I go on vacation, I'm not staying in someone's hotel, sleeping in a bed that other people slept in, taking a shower that other people have taken a shower in. It's actually my own apartment on wheels that I'm bringing with me to these different states to visit my family, my friends, see all the sights and see things that I've never seen before, but I have something with me that's familiar. And I think that's absolutely wonderful. And I am just rooting for people who are living in their RV and living this type of lifestyle, because I think it's a beautiful lifestyle. And a lot of people don't understand this type of lifestyle, and they tend to shy away from it, and they have a lot of comments and a lot of things to say. Don't let that bother you at all. When I first met my boyfriend, I was trying to get him to come out into the RV, and he said, one of the comments he said that I remember is, I said, well, why didn't you go and check out the RV? It seems like you really love it now. And he said, well, it was sitting there, and I thought there might be spiders or bugs all in there, and I just wasn't sure. So that's sometimes, and I like that he said that, because that's people that are not used to RVing it. That's their perspective of a vehicle that sits, basically. I mean, what is that? It's messy. It's probably junky. It probably has spider webs and spiders and bugs all through there. A lot of people think that. And sometimes the mentality of people that think, okay, yes, I'm going to get an RV, but they don't take care of it as much, that is their mentality too, because it ends up sitting and rusting and getting spiders and bugs because they're not doing anything to it. But my advice to you is treat your RV like you do your home. This is an extension of your home. I'm actually parked outside of my home in my yard, and I prefer to be in here if it's not hot and the weather permits. I prefer to be in here than inside the house, because I have privacy. I have absolutely everything that I have inside the house, inside this RV. And it's just a lot more comfortable to me. I can cook in here. I can clean. So in actuality, for the last couple of weeks, my boyfriend and I have been spending a tremendous amount of time out here. And one of the reasons why I'm doing that is because I do want to get him used to the fact of being inside the RV for when we do start traveling. The other part of why I really want to be out here and have him spend a lot of time out here is because I did want him to, like the RV as much as I do. If you're a couple with someone, it's very hard if you guys don't have the same vision or the same direction and you're not going in the same direction. And, when you're in a first time relationship and you're growing, even though he and I have known each other since we were in our junior high days. But you go through those growing pains in the relationship where you're really getting to know each other. You're compromising, you're seeing what makes that person happy, sad, upset, all of that stuff. And so this right here makes me absolutely happy. And I'm happy that he's happy. He would actually prefer to be out in the RV than inside the house as well, which makes me absolutely happy. His area is usually the back room. As you can see, he has made this area his absolute home. Now this is where I have the light, and he's hung his hats up there. I think that's so funny. But anyway, and then he likes putting his video game back there and playing video games and all of that. And I absolutely love that because I can be out here. I'll be on my computer at the table and kind of doing my thing, uploading videos or doing blogs, and it works out wonderfully. Another thing is when you start doing renovation on your RV, you're going to realize there's trial and error. Like I explained about the ceiling, but there's a couple things because now that I have a boyfriend, he's 6'3", so he's tall. I'm going to have to change out a few things. I absolutely love this lamp and where it's placed, but it's not, as you can see, in the right position. So he always hits his head on it. And this back here as well, where he has the hats on. So I'm going to change those out to ceiling fans so it'll work much better. But anyway, thank you for watching my video. I'm going to end it now because I hear my boyfriend is back. So thanks for watching.